Hello, my friends. Mrs. Hawk here, back this week with our story of the week to match our song Brave, or just pair along with it. I hope you can find some connections between the two texts and that you enjoy this story. This is a book that was new to me that I'm excited that I found. It's called Just Ask. And this book is actually written by Sotomayor, who is one of our Supreme Court justices here in the United States. She is the first Latina woman ever to be appointed to a Supreme Court justice and sits on our court. She has been there, was appointed in 2009, so she's been there for 12 years now. She wrote this book, Just Ask, and I love the kind of subheader here or subtitle that is Be Different, Be Brave, Be You. I mean, I feel like that should just be our motto for all things, right? That we've been talking about in our songs. So this is a book called Just Ask, thinking about how we can really get to know people by asking questions and learning about each other, and how important that is because we are all different and all unique, and everyone has something to share with us, and together we can figure out a lot of really cool stuff if we just get to know each other and ask. So I hope you enjoy this book, Just Ask, and you find some connections to some of our other stories as well that we've been reading. Okay. Hi, I'm Sonia. My friends and I are planting a garden. Gardens are magical places. Thousands of plants bloom together, but every flower, every berry, and every leaf is different. Each has a different smell, different color, different shape, and different purpose. Some flowers need lots of sunlight. Others thrive in the shade. Some have to be trimmed regularly, while others are better off left alone. Some trees and flowers are more fragile, and others are more hardy. That means like tough. It's like the opposite of fragile. Kids are all different too. Some of us are in a hurry and others take more time. Some of us seem shy and quiet, while others are chatty and loud. Some of our differences are easy to spot. Others take longer to notice. Each of us grows in our own way, so if you are curious about other kids, just ask. I love that. I love the comparison to the garden too, because you think about all the pieces of a garden that make it really beautiful. You don't want just one plant, right? You want lots of different kinds of things, just like we love to have people, all different kinds of people in our classes and in our lives. Not everyone is comfortable answering questions about themselves, but I don't mind. What am I doing? Can you see what this flower, this child's doing? This is actually true for Justice Sotomayor, who is, anyways, this part's true. I'll just read it. What am I doing? Several times a day, I prick my finger to measure the sugar that's in my blood, and I give myself shots of medicine called insulin. I do this because I have diabetes, and my body doesn't make insulin naturally like other people's. Even though this can sometimes hurt, I gather all of my courage to do it to be healthy. Do you ever need to take medicine to be healthy? I do. My name is Raphael, and I have asthma, which means I sometimes have trouble breathing. When that happens, I take a break, and I use an inhaler with medicine to make breathing easier. Quiet time helps me slow down and catch my breath. My inhaler is like a tool to help my body. Do you use any tools to help your body? That's a good question. Do any of you do that? I know we have a lot of students here who use inhalers. I'm Anthony, and I use a wheelchair to get around. Even though I can't run with my legs, I can go super fast. There you can see, Anthony needs a tool to get around, his wheelchair. How do you get from place to place? My name is Madison, and my guide dog, Lucky, helps me get places safely because I'm blind. My friend, Arturo, is blind too. He uses a cane to get around. Even though we can't see, we strengthen our other senses and notice lots of details others may miss. We can hear with our ears, smell with our noses, and feel with our hands. How do you use your senses? Well, there you can see, right? Lucky, the dog with Madison, and Arturo and his cane. I was just listening to some kindergartners talking about using your senses. I bet you guys can think about that. I'm VJ. I learn about the world differently because I can see, but I can't hear. I'm deaf. Most of the time, I communicate with people using my face and hands through sign language. It is cool to know another language. How many of you know sign language already? I wish I knew more of it. That should be a goal in my life. I also love reading and writing. What about you? I'm Bianca and I have dyslexia, so I have to work really hard and take my time when I'm reading and writing words. Sometimes I use computer programs to help me. I love learning by doing things. My imagination is full of ideas and I'm very good at making art from the pictures I see in my mind. Isn't that cool? Can you see all the pictures that Bianca sees in her mind? And then she's drawing them there. Are you really good at something? I am great at dinosaurs. I know all about them. I'm Jordan and I have autism. Organizing and counting all my toy dinosaurs again and again makes me feel calm. My classmate, Tiana, also has autism, but it's different for her. She doesn't talk, but I like to talk. I especially like to talk about dinosaurs. What do you like to talk about? For me, listening comes more easily than talking, and I'm a really good listener. My name is On, and I speak with a stutter, so I sometimes repeat a word or get stuck when I try to say it. It may take me a little longer to express myself, and sometimes I'm too shy to talk, but I understand everything that's going on. That's hard when people think you can't understand them just because you're struggling to communicate in the same way, right? Do you ever wonder if people understand you? I do. My name is Julia. Sometimes I wiggle or make sounds that I can't control because I have Tourette's syndrome. People may look at me funny because they think I am not paying attention or just acting out, but it's not true. I am listening. I don't always like having to explain. It frustrates me, but it helps when I tell people that it's just what my body does. That's a good way to think about it, right? All of our bodies are a little bit different, and Julia's body just reacts in a little bit of a different way to things. Do you ever feel frustrated? My name is Manuel, and I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It is also called ADHD. I can get frustrated when I really feel the need to move around, even though I'm supposed to sit still. When my teachers and friends are patient with me if I forget something or get distracted, I can get myself back on track. What is helpful to you? I'm Nolan. It's helpful to me when the food I eat has a clear label that says it is nut-free because I am allergic to nuts. They can make me so sick that I would have to go to the hospital if I ate any, even by accident. So I always tell people about my allergy and ask if any food has nut ingredients. Speaking up keeps me healthy. But can you see he's telling the little chipmunk, no nuts. Now we know that we have a lot of classrooms that are nut-free, right? To support our friends who do have nut allergies. How do you use your voice? I love to sing and I love to talk. I love to make new friends and to be included. I am Grace. I was born with Down syndrome. Kids like me with Down syndrome have an extra building block called a chromosome in our bodies, but we are all different from each other too. I can do almost anything that any other kid can do, although learning new things can take some time. One way I learn is to ask questions. What helps you learn? It's me, Sonia, again. I ask questions too. When something seems different or new, I just ask my parents or my teachers and they help me to understand, especially if my friends don't feel ready to explain. This is what I've learned. Imagine if all of the plants in this garden were exactly the same. Like, what if we could only grow peas? That would mean no strawberries or cucumbers or carrots. It might also mean no trees or roses or sunflowers. Just like in our garden, all the ways we are different make our neighborhood, our whole world really, more interesting and fun. And just like all of these plants, each of us has unique powers to share with the world and make it more interesting and richer. What will you do with your powers? What do you think, friends? Wasn't that a great story? I love it so much. I love the comparison to the garden and thinking about all the things that make our community, our school, our classrooms, our world a colorful and wonderful place because we have all different kinds of people. Sometimes we just have to ask to make sure that we've learned all the wonderful things or understand those people. So I really hope you'll take the time to get to know somebody else today, either in your class or out in the world that you are just curious about, and that you have a wonderful conversation getting to know what makes that person special. Thanks for reading, guys.